Hey, how y'all doing out there? Well, we got us another episode of Doing It Cheap. Well, this here is the crate that my Harbor Freight Sawmill came in. And I was out there cleaning up that dog pen, and of course the chain jumped off my chainsaw. So I saw that sitting there, I put the lid back on the crate and grabbed me an old pallet and threw it up there, and I was working on that chainsaw, and when it hit me, you know what? I bet I can make a workbench out of that thing. So stay tuned and let's see what happens. Well, as luck would have it, I bought these casters, these big old wheels, about 10 years ago. And they just been sitting in my garage. I bought them because they was on sale at Harbor Freight, and I knew that one of these days I'd have a use for them. And so I'm thinking that I'm going to put these on that workbench I'm going to build. So let's see what happens. So what I did, the first thing is I turned this rascal upside down. See, it comes with these feet on it. Like, I don't know if you can see it. I'm back to zoom out. All the way down through here, that crate come with these rails that run across so a forklift can get under and pick it up. Well, I figure if I made that the top, I wouldn't have a whole lot of support between those rails versus, again, I've got this upside down. If you look at what's on the ground there, it's got strapping all the way across, and it's pretty much a level surface. So I decided that I will use the bottom as the bottom. And if you notice how that how this piece running across right here, that's welded on underneath, and that piece is welded on top. So that tells me if I can find me a little old piece of metal that I can lay it on top of here and under here. Alright, and then I can take my wheels and I can mount them like that right there. So I'm going to go try to find me some thin pieces of metal and get to welding, and then we'll see what transpires. So I figured what I'd do, since this dadgum thing is a little bit heavy for an old man, and I got a pretty good ways from here to the welder, I'd just break out this brand new chain I bought. It's at 3/8 inch, 14 foot long, that Harbor Freight just put on sale with a coupon for $20. 14 foot of 3/8 inch chain with hooks on it for $20. It says 5,400 pound working load. I believe we'd be alright on this. So I'm going to set this up, get my lawnmower and hook to it and see what happens. Now what I want to show you is I've got two pairs of wheels, and they're two different ones. One's got the swivel on it, okay? So I'll put these two on one end so I can steer it, and I got two of these that don't steer. And what I'll do is I'll mount these where they're running with the length of the new workbench. I swear, I'm like a kid in a candy store every time I go to Harbor Freight. They had these welding magnets on sale, and I bought me a handful of them because I'm all the time doing some kind of welding, but I hadn't had the opportunity to use these yet, so I figured it's a pretty good project. These are 4 3/4 inch multi-purpose magnet holders, item number 1938, and so I'll show you how these work here in just a second. So here's what I did. Anytime I go to the place where I buy steel, I always look in their junk pile, because lots of times they'll give you pieces because they're just going to sell it for scrap because it's odd and end. And I found me some pieces they had give to me, and these are going to work just right, because what I did here is I set that wheel in place where it's supposed to go. I wanted it flush out here because I wanted as much width as I could get on my wheels whenever they're rolling, make it more stable. And I figured out about where I wanted this plate to be, because I want a bolt in the middle of that plate somewhat. So then all I did is I just set that piece of metal right where I wanted it, and I stuck that magnet on there, and it's holding in place. And I'll do that on all 4 corners. I'll weld it here, and I'll weld it up underneath here, and then we'll drill some holes and mount these wheels. Well, I ain't going to show welding on the camera. Everybody knows what welding is, and I don't want to burn the lens out, or my eyes, or yours, neither one. So when we come back, all 4 of these pieces will be welded into place, and we'll do our next step. Now, to tell you the truth, sometimes I take a shortcut, and I don't grind where I'm going to weld. And I didn't think it was going to be much of a big deal on this thing, because it's just paint. But I swear they must have prepared this for submersion in salt water. You see what an ugly weld that is right there? I didn't grind that. Over here is a much better weld, because I ground it. Took my little 4.5 inch Harbor Freight grinder, and I ground the paint off of the crate here. So that's a lot smoother weld than this one. See that? Hell, I couldn't get nothing to stick. So I've ground it off here and here, so it'll weld a lot better. Just wanted to show it to you. You know, lots of people don't realize it does make a big difference. So next time you need to weld something, make sure you grind the spot off. All right. You know what? I think it's about time for a word from our sponsor, and he is a good-looking devil. Hey folks, if you're enjoying the videos and like to show your support, it'd sure be appreciated. And if any of you can help me out, I'll send you one of these decals right here that I make myself, and you can let people know you like doing it cheap. Lord have mercy, wasn't that a good looking feller on that commercial. Well, we're back, and what I've decided to do here, because I'm all about doing it cheap now, is I decided that I would weld these wheels on instead of bolting them. I mean, these darn things been sitting in my garage for 10 years, and I hadn't used them before now, and once I get this thing built, I don't see no reason to take it apart. But if I do, I can always take my Harbor Freight 4.5 inch side grinder to it, I reckon. But anyway, doing it cheap. I'm not buying nuts and bolts. I'm not wearing out drill bits to drill holes in the metal neither. So that's where we're at on this. That's just the first one, and I'll come back after I've got all 4 welded. Okay? Well, alrighty. Well, now I got the wheels welded on, and it rolls around good. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my little grinder, and I'm going to grind where the top of this crate overlaps, so I can get me some good welds on all those vertical supports there. So I'll take a pause again, and I'll get that ground and welded, and then we'll go on to our next step. Well, this portable workbench, garden cart, welding cart, tool cart, whatever I want to use it for, is coming right along. I'm gonna put this piece of OSB on it. I can't find no magic marker, so I mark up underneath here. So I'm just going to shoot it with a little bit of spray paint. Then I'll know where to make my cut. There. Let's see how that turned out. Hold on. There we go. Now then, all I got to do is take my skill saw and cut the white off. And when I do that, then the rest will fit right on there. Okay folks, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this OSB and I'm going to shoot screws down through the top of it into 2x4s that I'm going to cut that will fit inside of this angle iron. That way I won't have to drill any holes in the metal and, you know, save my drill bits. And a few sheetrock screws or all-purpose screws is cheaper than nuts and bolts, and got to do it cheap. Alright. Well, there it is. My Harbor Freight workbench. All-terrain workbench. I got them big old pneumatic tires on there. Got me some OSB on the top of it. Heck, I can carry a welder in the bottom. I can work on top. I can roll it out in the garden. I can roll it out in the driveway, out by the truck. I can just use it for whatever. Use it inside, outside, it don't matter. So, I appreciate y'all watching this. Let's see how that thing rolls. Da, da, da. See y'all. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow.